right now. But anyway, the difference between I really love Bethesda games, but there's Skyrim's just kind of my baby. It's the one that I've played forever. If I had my 360 anymore, I'd be playing that probably right now, actually, just because I love Skyrim. But the PS3 that me and my roommates have has Skyrim, but Skyrim on the PS3, as you guys probably know, is not all that great. It doesn't look as good as... It's just not... it's not the same as the 360. There's a big difference, if not like graphically, at least in like sound quality. Oh, by the way, when you guys fight this enemy that's gonna come up right here, if you come out here on the balcony, it makes it a lot harder for it to hit you. And I know that this is not a new game by any means, but it's just something that, like, when I watch playthroughs, something that no one really does. A lot of people like the challenge of facing a Deathclaw just right off the bat. I do not. I like killing these guys in one shot later on, but until then, I will avoid them completely. You will see me use melee weapons through this entire thing, but there's really only 3 that I'll really go after. Sorry, I have a stuffy nose, so that's gonna sound really weird, but it's not one that I've seen before. Raider leathers rather than road leathers, but I'll check it out. Ooh, good. Got some mods for my pipe gun now. So I was trying to decide what I wanted to do with this game, whether if I wanted to if I wanted to go Brotherhood or try to keep all 3 alive. I think I'm going to keep all 3 alive, at least in the beginning, until I get the Ballistic Weave mod for clothes. Simply because the Ballistic Weave mod is super great. It makes you basically invincible later on when you get really good armor.
That was a pretty amazing display. I'm just glad you were on our side.
When my biggest problem later on is that I'll get my carry weight up so much with like pockets and stuff like that.
Listen,
and when I put on power armor,
you said you were glad to help.
It actually,
well, you did.
It actually takes my carry weight.
So here, it ain't much, but it's the best way I can say thank you.
But one of the things I love is in one of my games I have a full set of completely upgraded T60, not T60, X01 power armor.
Alright, Garvey. I'm in. My destiny?
And then
what do you mean?
The assault marine armor from the Far Harbor DLC. Within Ballistic Moth, like V5, I think it is the biggest one. And my damage resistance in power armor is so high that basically I was facing off the other day with a ancient super mutant behemoth, and it was the only thing that could actually take
Look,
any
kid,
health
I
off
ain't
of my
tired,
health
but
bar.
maybe you'll
And
bring
even
me
then,
some
it was just a
Kenzo.
little sliver. It
The
was
sight will paint a
ridiculous.
clearer picture.
No.
I'm level
Murphy, we talked about this.
90 something
That
with
jump,
that character.
it's gonna kill you.
So he's pretty
We're all gonna
overpowered
die
anyway.
eventually. We're gonna need
But
the
oh yeah,
sight.
the 3 melee
My new
weapons you'll see me go
friend here,
get.
she's gonna need
I'll
it
go get
too.
Krimva's
Let's get
Tooth
going.
eventually, just because that
awaits.
one's a really
Alright,
powerful
folks.
weapon.
Thanks to our friend here, it's safe to move out. We're heading for that place Mama Murphy knows about. Sanctuary. It's not
And
far.
then usually I'll go to Swan's Pond and get that.
Hey there.
And
Don't
now
worry.
you want us to just head out on another wild
these
goose
people
chase
think.
based on no better plan
I'll go
than
to Swan's
Murphy's
Pond and
what?
get the Power Fist. But later on, I will change it simply because I can't use it in Power Armor. So I tend to change that one around a lot. But it's good for the beginning because it does a lot of damage. It doesn't take ammo, all the good stuff. So I'll probably go get that one as soon as I actually go into the city. But then there's 2 from the DLCs that I really love. The Bloodletter from Far Harbor. I'll use that one for a long time because it just looks really great. And I love the look of it more than anything. Let me just get out of this. I just really love the look of I just really love the look of the Bloodletter. And it's a really good weapon, especially once you bump. I'll probably try to do more of a melee build with this one, just because melee is something to work basically throughout the game. But then in the Nuka World DLC, there is a completely overpowered weapon that makes you basically invincible. And anyone that's played Skyrim kind of knows what I'm talking about when I say Wind Shear. It's a weapon that staggers enemies basically every single time you hit them. Oh, excuse me. But it's basically completely Wind Shear is basically completely and utterly overpowered, because even though it doesn't do a whole lot damage-wise, even though it doesn't do a whole lot damage-wise, being able to just staggering something every single time makes it completely overpowered. There's nothing anyone can really do to stop you when they can't move. Alright, so let me see. I need to get Gun Nut. So there's one that's called the Harvester, and it's got the legendary prefix, and a lot of other weapons have it, but it's not as good. There's like a 25% chance to stagger on every hit, but the difference between the Harvester and every other weapon that has it is the Harvester is what do they call them? It's a little mini chainsaws, rippers. It's a ripper. And so it's basically you just hit over and over and over again. So you are continuously staggering them. There's nothing they can really do. Which I don't use it that much. Just because it kind of just breaks the game a little bit. It's not nearly as much fun when you're staggering them, but there's pieces of the Nuka World DLC where there's lots of enemies that are Deathclaw-esque in the fact that they're got a lot of health. They kind of look like Deathclaws. Excuse me. Anyone that's played knows what I'm talking about. And, I mean, we'll see them later on. But it makes it super easy to deal with them, and that's basically my end game, is I want to get that I want to get that weapon, because it's going to make the entire game a lot easier, because it will stagger anything, even Mirelurk Queens. Anything that can be staggered will be staggered from the Harvester, which is just insane. And since this place does not have a power armor frame, I'm probably not going to use it as a base. You'll see me use it here in the beginning, just as a little place to sleep. Oh, the idiots of Hot Perks finally paying off. You'll see me use it here in the beginning, just as a place to sleep and store some junk. And it'll probably be where I come to... it's going to turn into a farm, basically, where...
Seems to be growing well.
It's going to turn into a money farm for me. And those of you that don't know, I'll explain it real quick, but once you can make these big water purifiers, even these ones will work, and I'll go build some right now. These ones produce a ton of water. This is probably the best place. Once you've got a lot of resources and you just need caps, you just line this river. With these, it does take a lot of power to power them all, obviously, but now that they've introduced this generator, it's not nearly as big a deal, especially like once you get up there in science. It's not going to be a big deal anyway, but basically it just puts bottled water or purified water in your in the workbench, and that just you can turn around and they're like 12 caps or something a bottle. It's not a whole lot, but when you have like 400 bottles, it's a pretty good way to make money really fast. And I am so glad that they made it to where it doesn't take copper to make wire anymore, because that was always my biggest thing when this game, before I had updated this game and got the DLCs. It's a pain in the butt to go find copper simply to wire all your stuff. So I had a lot of just like lights and stuff that didn't need power strung to them. Just needed something close by. And I know a lot of people will give Mama Murphy drugs and stuff to get, you know, her help or whatever. I usually don't, simply because I like making her work. I do not like her just sitting around, which I don't know if you guys know this, but once you give her any sort of the drugs she wants, basically she just wants to sit around. You build her a chair and that's it. That's all she does. And I just really am not a fan of that. I like making her work, so I make her work. Where did my other people go? There's Preston. I'm gonna have to talk to him. Sorry, I got like the hiccups or something. Alright. I tell you what, one thing I really like that they changed when they updated this game, when they updated the game, is it now tells you what someone is assigned to. Like, if I go over here to Zheng, it says he's assigned to defense. And that helps out so much. It used to be I would completely... I would just have a ton of beds, and I would separate the beds out so I'd know who was working in what. But I would figure, I would know who was working where, they slept. But now I don't have to do that because it doesn't tell me exactly what they're assigned to, but it says this guy's on food, this guy's on this, and it does help a lot.
Let's trade.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier to it just makes it a lot easier.
We can always use some more muscle around here. I know I might look like a bruiser, but I try to avoid violence myself.
Oh man, sorry guys, I have a really stuffy nose. Let's go talk to Preston and get this quest over.
Another day in the Commonwealth.
Hey there.
I'm glad you decided to come with us. I should have listened to Mom. I think we could...
So...
I mean...
Yeah. I used to like living here.
What do you...
I lived here. Over 200 years ago.
Basically,
I
until
was
my last
frozen or something for most
playthroughs
of it.
of Fallout, I didn't realize that there were different ranks
like one of those old
armor.
pre-war ghouls.
And I recently
you say
bought
you were frozen.
the Vault Dweller's Guide to Fallout that they sell, the big book, which if any of you don't have it and you really like Fallout, I would definitely suggest getting the survival guide. It's really helpful because it goes through every single building you can go through.
Took him away while I was still
and
trapped.
what loot
I've
is
been
in
looking
there.
for him.
Damn.
It'll tell you if there's a chest with
Hope you find him.
with anything.
Let me know if there's any way I can help. Anyway, I am glad you're here.
Like if there's a legendary item in there, or if there's mini nukes, anything like that, which helps a lot.
Sure.
And I hope you don't mind. I've had word from a settlement. The only chance to start rebuilding the Minuteman. Trouble is...
And it begins. General, another settlement needs your help.
It's not that. That's what the Minuteman is. By the way, if you want to help out around here at all...
Right.
So I don't really like Preston. It's been a long... I've never even got his full... I've never got his bar full to where I get the perk of him. That's gonna be a big one, getting supply lines. But I think for right now I'll probably take... Let's see, to build one of those I need blacksmith at both ranks of this, which I'm about to level up again to 6. So for now I'll take gun nut just so I can upgrade my weapons, because that's going to be a big deal. Basically, as soon as I'm able, I'll be upgrading weapons. Just because it's my way of keeping things straight. And I really do not like the fact that they took the power armor stand out of Sanctuary, unless I accidentally deleted it, which I don't think I did. I mean, I know I did for the Red Rocket over there, so I'm never going to use that. That's probably where I'll send. I'll probably actually be using something like either Covenant or Bunker Hill. Bunker Hill's usually my favorite because when you play in town, it's not far from anything. It's like, even if you can't fast travel, you can run there.
I knew you'd join me.
Which makes it really, really nice that you can at any time just kind of run to your home, and everything will help protect you.
Do I look like I want to chit-chat?
God, I hate her so much. I gotta find Sturgis. But Bunker Hill is one that I really like. I also like Covenant.
Seems to be growing well.
Obviously a little weird. There's some odd quests tied into Covenant, but I mean it's a really nice settlement. Everything's pre-built. The houses are really nice. It's not huge, but that's okay. Being huge is not a big factor for me. I don't really care that it's big. It's usually just some place that I'll put stores, stuff like that. But Bunker Hill is another one that's really nice. Usually I have, in the past few playthroughs I've done, I've just taken one of these pads and put all the stores on one and made a little outdoor market type thing, which works really well because it's just really nice to have everyone right together. Where the heck? There he is.
Sturgis.
And one place that people really like is the Big Island. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but I'll show you on the map. It's this island right here. You can make this entire thing your settlement. And I do have a couple of playthroughs where I've completely covered it, using like the glitch where you drop weapons and stuff and store them in the workshop. And it's nice. I have it completely covered, but it's a huge place, and you can only have 20 settlers here at a time. Like, the max you can get is 20, and I believe it's off of your charisma.